Tell me, have you ever wondered why, despite knowing your name, your age, your memories, your likes and dislikes, you still feel a strange distance from yourself? Why there's a voice inside you that whispers, "This isn't the full you. Something deeper is buried." And what if I told you that the version of you living your daily life is only a shadow of who you truly are? When people asked me, "Carl, why do humans feel lost even when their lives look normal?" I replied, because a man who looks outside dreams, but a man who looks inside awakens. But let us begin with a question that carries a certain danger, a certain thrill. What if your personality isn't yours at all? What if you were shaped long before you understood anything about life? You see, your personality is not a simple mask you wear. It is a battlefield. A battlefield between what you show and what you hide. Between the light you carry and the darkness you fear. Between the voice you speak with and the voice you silence. Let me take you into a deeper territory. The mask you wear. The persona. Every human creates a face for the world. A pleasant, polished, socially acceptable mask. I call it the persona. It is the version of you that smiles even when your soul trembles. The one who is polite when your mind is burning. The one who pretends to be confident when you feel you're collapsing. But here is the chilling truth. The more you strengthen this mask, the more you lose yourself behind it. Think of an actor who plays a role for too long. The lines of the character begin to replace the lines of his own life. Is that not happening to you? You behave how society expects, not how your inner self desires. Society tells you, be nice, be logical, be efficient, be normal. And slowly, bit by bit, your true personality is covered like a mirror slowly fogging up. Until one day you look at yourself and whisper, "Who am I beneath all this?" The shadow you fear, the hidden you. Behind your mask lies something darker and more honest. I call it the shadow. It holds everything you reject in yourself, every emotion you suppress, every desire you deny, every fear you pretend doesn't exist, anger you never expressed, jealousy you never admitted, dreams you never dared to pursue, truths you never had the courage to speak. Your shadow is not evil. It is unaccepted. It is the part of your personality that is begging to be acknowledged. Because until you face your shadow, you cannot understand who you truly are. I once wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Think about that. Are you living your life? Or are you being driven by invisible forces inside you? Your childhood, your trauma, your hidden fears. These silently build the architecture of your personality. You believe you make decisions, but often your unconscious makes them for you. You simply obey. Isn't that frightening? The inner forces you never knew you had. Your personality is not one voice. It is a council of voices. Some loud, some silent, some wise, some wounded. The logical you, the emotional you, the spiritual you, the fearful you, the ambitious you, the tired, forgotten you. And all these voices compete to shape your identity. The tragedy is, you listen to the loud voices and ignore the ones that speak the truth. This is why you don't understand yourself, because you never listened to your inner parliament. You only listened to whatever voice helped you survive the moment. But personality is not survival. Personality is revelation. It is the unveiling of who you are beneath years of conditioning. The question that decides your future. So ask yourself a question that most people run away from. Am I the person I chose to be? or the person life forced me to become? Your answer will decide whether you transform or remain lost in the fog of your own unexamined identity. You see, you cannot build your true personality until you first shatter the illusions covering it. This is where your real journey begins. Let me take you deeper into the rooms of your mind where the lights flicker, where truth hides in corners you rarely dare to look at. Tell me honestly, have you ever felt a sudden anger that didn't match the situation? A jealousy you knew was irrational? A fear that appeared out of nowhere? A sadness you couldn't explain? You called it mood. You called it stress. You called it, I don't know what's wrong with me. But I call it something far more profound. The shadow trying to speak. Most people live their lives running from this inner darkness. But here's the chilling part. The more you run from your shadow, the more power it gains. The shadow you ignore becomes the master you obey. I once wrote, everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it becomes. This is not poetry. It is a psychological warning. The shadow is not your enemy, it is your truth. You see, your shadow is not darkness for the sake of darkness. It is unexpressed emotion, unlived life, buried honesty, suppressed desires, rejected personality traits. It is everything you hid just to be accepted. Everything you muted just to be loved. Every part of you society told you was wrong, too much, or not allowed. Someone once asked me, Carl, why do people fear their own truth more than they fear death? I answered, because truth demands transformation, and transformation demands loss. To accept your shadow means you must lose your illusions, lose your masks, lose the comfortable lies you tell yourself. This is why most people will never know their true personality. Because the path to authenticity passes through darkness. When the shadow takes control, do you know why you overreact? Why small issues explode inside your mind? Why you sabotage relationships? Why you fear success more than failure? Why you feel empty even when life looks full? Because the shadow takes control in unpredictable moments. You suppress anger for years, and then explode at something trivial. You hide insecurity, and it becomes arrogance. You bury pain, and it becomes coldness. You deny loneliness, and it becomes desperation. This is the tragic irony of human psychology. Whatever you refuse to face becomes the architect of your behavior. When you don't acknowledge your shadow, it expresses itself in twisted ways in the form of anxiety, depression, conflict, addiction, and emotional exhaustion. People say, I didn't mean to say that. I don't know why I did that. It just happened. Nothing just happens. Your unconscious decides long before you are aware. You cannot heal what you refuse to see. Imagine a house where one room is always locked. Everyone cleans the living room, the kitchen, the garden. But that one room remains untouched. Inside it, dust grows, broken things pile up, insects gather. And one day, the smell escapes. The rot spreads. It becomes impossible to ignore. Your shadow is that locked room. You clean your external life, career, relationships, image, but the inner room you avoid is silently shaping everything about you. I often warned people, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle the light of meaning in the darkness of being. Not to escape the darkness, but to illuminate it. The shadow holds your lost potential. This may surprise you. Your shadow does not only hide your weaknesses, it hides your strengths too. Your courage, your creativity, your passion. your intuition, your spiritual intelligence. All the parts of you that never received permission to live were pushed into the shadow. Many people think their shadow is a monster, but more often, it is a child, locked away, waiting to be acknowledged. The question that transforms you. So now I ask you, what part of yourself are you most afraid to look at, and why? Because the moment you confront that truth, your personality stops being a reaction and begins to become a creation. And this leads us to the next stage, the most mysterious, transformative part of Jungian psychology. If you wish to know why you behave the way you do, why your emotions rise like storms, why your choices repeat themselves like cycles, you must enter another layer of the psyche, a deeper, older, more mysterious layer. Most people believe their personality comes from their experiences, their childhood, their environment, their memories. Yes, this is partly true, but there is something far older inside you, something ancient. I called them archetypes, the invisible patterns that guide the human soul, the blueprints of behavior already written into your mind, long before you learned your first word. You may think you are an individual, but the forces shaping you are collective, timeless, and universal. You are not one person, you are many. Have you ever felt like you are two different people on different days? Or wondered why some moments awaken a sudden courage inside you, while others awaken a deep fear you cannot explain? This is because your personality is not a single identity, but a constellation. Inside you live multiple archetypes, each with its own voice, its own desire, its own instinct. Let me tell you some of the forces guiding your every decision. The hero, the part of you that wants to overcome, to grow, to fight through difficulty. It wakes up when life challenges you. The caregiver, the part of you that protects, nurtures, sacrifices. It appears when someone you love is in need. The rebel, the part that refuses to obey, breaks rules, seeks freedom. It emerges when your soul feels trapped. The wise old man, the voice of intuition, the knowing, ancient part of you that whispers truth in silence. The lover, the emotional, passionate force that pulls you toward beauty, warmth, connection. The shadow archetype, not evil but the keeper of all your unexplored power. These are not fantasies, they are psychological realities. Every decision you make, every fear you feel, every dream you chase, is influenced by these forces. And here is the suspenseful truth. You think you are in control, but most of the time, an archetype is choosing for you. The archetypes you never realized you were obeying. Think about this carefully. Why do some people always end up helping others, even when they are emotionally exhausted? Because their caregiver is dominating their personality. Why do some people constantly sabotage their own progress? Because their shadow archetype is unintegrated. Why do people fall into toxic love again and again? Because the lover archetype becomes blind when unbalanced. Why do people repeat life patterns, even when they consciously want to change? Because the unconscious archetype is stronger than conscious will. This is why I said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Most people believe they have bad luck or bad fate, when in reality, they are simply repeating archetypal behavior they do not understand. Archetypes hold your greatest power and your greatest weakness. Let me ask you a frightening question. What if the part of you that fails and the part of you that succeeds are the same archetype expressing itself differently? You see, the hero archetype can give courage, but it can also create pride. The caregiver brings love. But when unbalanced, it brings self-destruction. The rebel gives freedom, but also chaos. The shadow gives depth, but also fear. Every archetype has a light and a dark side, and your personality depends on which side you feed. This is why two people with the same life story can become completely different, because different archetypes dominate their inner world. The real transformation begins here. Most people live their entire lives, never discovering which archetype controls them. They believe their personality is fixed. They believe, this is who I am. But personality is not fixed. It is fluid. It is evolving. It is influenced by thousands of unconscious threads. Your real task is not to change yourself, but to understand yourself. Because once you understand your archetypes, you can decide which ones to strengthen, which ones to calm, and which ones to heal. And this understanding prepares you for the final and most profound psychological transformation, the union of your conscious mind with the deep, ancient, unconscious within. This is the doorway to the rarest form of personality development, the integration of the self, the final, most powerful concept in Jungian psychology. Now we arrive at the final stage, the stage most people fear, the stage few ever reach. You have met your shadow. You have discovered your archetypes. But these are only pieces, scattered fragments of who you are. The question now becomes, how do these fragments come together? How do you stop living as a divided being, pulled in multiple directions, controlled by unconscious forces, and finally become whole? This is the journey I called individuation, the process of becoming your true self. Many think self means identity. No. Your identity is the mask you show the world. Yourself is the being behind the mask. Your identity is shaped by society. Yourself is shaped by the universe. Your identity changes with situations. Yourself remains constant, eternal, untouched. And the tragedy is, most people live and die without ever meeting their real self. The self is not found in the light, it is found in the union of light and shadow. People often ask me, Carl, how do I discover who I truly am? And I always answer, by accepting who you truly are not. Let me explain. Inside you exist contradictions, kindness and anger, courage and fear, love and resentment, wisdom and confusion, light and darkness. Most people choose one side and deny the other. They build a personality not from truth, but from preference. But the self is not born from choosing sides, it is born from integrating both. You are not the light alone. You are not the shadow alone. You are the union. The day you stop running from your darkness and stop pretending your light is perfect, that day, your self emerges. The voice of the self. Have you ever felt a moment of profound clarity, a moment where everything felt connected, where decisions made sense, where confusion vanished, where your mind felt aligned with something greater? That was the self speaking. But the self whispers. It never shouts. And if your life is too loud, if your fears scream too strongly, if your ego talks without rest, you will never hear it. The self speaks only in silence, in intuition, in dreams, in sudden insights, in a strange inner knowing that seems to come from nowhere. Yet it comes from the deepest part of your being. The self is not a destination. It is a transformation. Let me tell you a secret that many psychologists never understand. The goal of life is not to become perfect. The goal of life is to become whole. Perfection is impossible. Wholeness is sacred. And wholeness requires integration. When your conscious mind and your unconscious mind stand together instead of fighting when your archetypes cooperate, instead of competing when your shadow is embraced, instead of rejected when your light is grounded, instead of arrogant when your thoughts and your intuition walk in the same direction, then and only then you become whole. This is the ultimate personality theory. This is the essence of psychological and spiritual evolution. The self is your return home. Imagine a circle. At one point you stand. Across from you stands your shadow. Around you dance your archetypes. All are fragments of the same center, the self. Life is the journey, from the edges of the circle back to the center. Most people wander the edges, never realizing there is a center. But once you reach your center, everything changes. You stop reacting. You start responding. You stop fearing life. You start participating in it. You stop feeling lost. You start feeling guided. The universe no longer feels against you, it feels connected to you. Because you and the universe are not separate forces. You are expressions of the same consciousness. A final question to transform you. So I ask you the question that every human must face one day. Are you ready to stop living as a fragment and finally live as a whole? Because the moment you choose wholeness, your life becomes your creation, not your reaction. And if this journey touched you, if even one idea sparked a light inside you, then I invite you from the depth of my heart, like this video, to honor your own growth. Share it with someone who is searching for themselves. And subscribe, not for me, but for you, because your journey toward wholeness deserves every reminder, every insight, every guiding light it can receive. Thank you for walking this path with me.